Our complex society relies on social interactions, tools, and influencing factors to further evolve our environments. That is why designers need to understand how these dependencies can damage as much as they can facilitate progress. Which begs the question, does relying on other people or tools make designers more creative or innovative? Hello creative people, and welcome to Sbjctv Design, the channel where we discuss design concepts with the goal that designers like ourselves use these concepts in their future projects. My name is Alice, and for today's video, we will be discussing dependence. This is the pair opposite of autonomy, and I consider it to be an essential concept because designing always depends on someone or something. The word dependence is defined as the state of relying on or being controlled by someone or something else. This affects personal and professional relationships, and it's why we can make progress as a species through international agreements. But for these connections to be ethical, the relationship must be symbiotic since one party doesn't take advantage of the other. Occasionally, however, one person can unconsciously become codependent, which is when one person is depending on the other for their emotional needs and they feel incomplete without this other person, even when maintaining the relationship actually harms them. But how does this affect designers in particular? Well, this is seen in the network of professional relationships with clients, team members, and project stakeholders. The design industry also relies on the cultural, commercial, and technical limitations that influence the project, and on the tools they use to help them complete their designs. Because of this, I think we should aim to understand our dependencies, and in doing so, prevent unforeseen results from our actions, such as the problem of becoming too dependent on something to the point that it makes it difficult for us to switch to a more innovative solution. Creativity, for example, is often undermined in studios that have used efficient solutions and exhausted design features, or how architects rely on the mechanical engineer to fix performance concerns, instead of introducing passive strategies during the early stages of the project that alleviate the demand. In teams where many of the members lack autonomy, people might develop a lack of trust in their own opinions and a need for constant validation that prevents them from evolving as professionals. This need for validation or reward is also linked to why designers make apps so addictive and therefore popular. And once these tools are embedded in our practice, it becomes challenging to stop using them, so we end up becoming slaves to the tool. But is it possible to modify our progress to control our dependencies? For instance, imagine you work with a small team to complete a project that requires planning, building, and marketing. The members are not well organized, and because of that, everyone is jumping between all possible tasks instead of using each other's strengths, which means that they each have to spend time learning new skills. The team is also not clearly identifying the stakeholders, the context of the project, or what equipment they need. This eventually leads them to schedule delays and costly changes for a lower quality design. They also didn't consult each other much before making decisions, and so the technician did not get a chance to warn the creative designer of how challenging it would be to achieve a specified concept before it was too late. While this scenario is the result of poor team chemistry, it helps to illustrate where team members can use each other's skills effectively, improve how successful a project is, and rely on each other to reduce mistakes. Since design is an industry that continuously relies on digital tools, such as CAD or CAM software and its related hardware, some companies are adapting to the pandemic and creating new ways for teams to work together. This is seen in projects that allow designers to quickly view digital versions of projects in the real world or through a VR headset, which conveniently lets them work remotely or more effectively engage stakeholders. When it comes to improving the quality and performance of a project, designers can implement solutions and practices that reduce the need for users to maintain the design, or that allow designers to achieve more at a given time, such as by including more interconnected sensors that make a building respond to weather changes and reduce the use of resources within it, or developing AI-aided processes that increase the data gathered from a site and the quality of the information. Other solutions can also help people become less reliant on relationships or influences that they have little control over. These are things like car-centric cities that are defined by wide roads and make it challenging for urban designers to create humane communities. Still, some designers fight for solutions that, for example, make the walking experience more comfortable, people subconsciously drive slower, and communities more desirable to be in. So to answer the question of whether relying on other people or tools makes designers more creative and innovative, well, it depends. See what I did there? This is because when people rely too much on others, they may end up losing the autonomy that makes them creative professionals. But if they identify the dependencies, they can create innovative solutions that are best suited for the project and the users. Do you have any stories of how intentionally understanding the context has meaningfully improved your project? Make sure you leave a comment below. Bye. Thanks for watching this episode of Sbjctv Design. If design runs in your veins, don't forget to subscribe for more discussions. You can also follow me on Instagram for updates and related content. The music was produced by my friend 𝗬𝗶𝗿 𝗩𝗶𝗶𝗃. Visit him on Instagram to listen to more of his music.